Okay, we're going to do a Taurus TX22 pistol unboxing. Now, it's kind of unusual, and yes, this will be open to the public and the comment section will be on. As you can tell from my channel, people who followed, I like Taurus pistols. Well, years ago, I went to Cabela's, got a credit card, and over the years, I used the card and accumulated club points. Then when Bass Pro and Cabela's merged together, I could use the card and the points to buy something from one of the stores. So to make a long story short, I racked up a bunch of points. The closest store is Bass Pro. Cabela's is about another 20 miles further from where the Bass Pro shop was. And I ordered a Taurus pistol, had it sent to the store. Now, most stores, you see this tape on here, the thing was in the back, taped shut with the white tape. So went through the whole thing, paperwork and all this other stuff. And then when I was done, there's two things they did that was unusual, because I thought they would walk me out of the store like most places when you purchase a firearm, and after you fill the paperwork out, an employee walks you out of the store with the gun and hands it to you. They hold the firearm. I guess they believe you will take the gun and rip ammunition off the shelf and create a massacre. Well, anyway, that's what the red tape is. After we did everything, he put the red tape on, which proves I bought it, and I just waltzed on out of the store with the red tape. But another interesting thing is, here's the pistol, in which I never seen it. It has this red trigger lock on there. And I said, you know, are you going to leave that thing on there? He goes, oh, there's a key or something inside. You can get it off. He goes, that way I don't have to walk you out of the building. Okay, so let's look at what we got in the box. It's kind of unusual. Got this. We have a manual, we have some different cards, lifetime warranty, different things here. There's the gun itself with the lock. There is a magazine loader. There is the key and instructions to get the plastic lock off. There's a spare magazine, which I didn't know. I tried researching it and finding out about it, but I couldn't find nothing. I went and ordered 2 other mags. So you got a spare mag, the magazine loader. There is an adapter for the threaded barrel. Go over that. And down inside here, a gun lock. Okay. So, put everything back. These little bits and pieces here. Put this off to the side. And then I'm going to open this up and figure out how to get this thing off the gun. Well, I guess it's pretty simple. We have the gun, the lock, 2 holes. You got a key with 2 prongs. Put it in there, and I guess they said turn it counterclockwise till the 2 halves come apart. This would slow you down in case of a massacre. So that's why they let you walk out of the store, okay? You unscrew it. There's the screw. There's 1 half, the other half, and we can file that into memories. Alright. So now we got our pistol. Okay, magazine. Slide stop. There we go. So, when these things came out a few years ago, 2 of my friends at my gun club had these. And they bought them when they first come out. And the guys loved them. And this is back during the ammunition crisis of COVID and that. So they bought these Taurus 22s, and they had a bunch of 22 ammo, which looks like it's been lying around for a while. And so they had these, and they were quite impressed with them. The cost of this was $300, rounded off, $333, okay? And I expended my years and years of club points and actually got this. It almost paid for the whole thing. I'd say 80% of it. So that's why I kind of got this, A, to try the gun out, and B, because I want to expend them points and use up that, because I really don't shop at these stores, and I wanted to expend the points. So I got this gun. So let's take a better look at it. All right, let's take a look at the gun. Now, the first thing you notice about this pistol when you pick it up is it's a full-sized handgun. Okay, you see, or I'd say I have an average size hand. It's not extremely large or small. I get hold of the pistol, I get full grip, so all my other fingers have pressure on there. And what comes in handy with a 22 in this size is you can practice and you have control, so it feels good in the hand. Now you got stapling and textured finish. Nothing's interchangeable like on some of the 9s, you know, so you have a nice contour to it. You have that little cutout down here in the frame to let your finger get up in there. And then you have the straight trigger guard, the little hook on there. It's fashioned in a way where you can wrap a finger around there and get a hold of it. Also, on the Taurus is right where my index finger is, this here. When you grasp the gun with your finger off the trigger, drawing it, whatever, you have a place for your finger. You can come down. Some pistols will actually have a little textured area there. You got this in the frame so you can safely maneuver with the gun and drop your finger down to the trigger. So as far as the grip in that, it's pretty cool. You have 2 sets of cocking serrations on the slide. You have a rail. You can attach a device, a light, or whatever you want there. And the controls are pretty standard, okay? On this side, you got the mag release, and it's protected to where you don't really hit it or bump it that easily. And in the manual, this is reversible. You could go in there, disassemble the gun, and change this for a left-handed person, okay? So you can get the mag release on this side. And also, if you notice, I talked about that contour. It is on this side too, so if you are left-handed, you have a place for your finger to go and change it around. The trigger is just a single piece trigger. It isn't a Glock style 2-piece trigger. So the only safety you have on this is the manual safety up here. Now, one thing to be aware of, this thing will not move. The safety will not go up when the striker part of this is not cocked. It is a single action striker fired pistol. So, okay, there you go. Weapon is clear. So we get the mag out. Also on this side, your mag release is right here. Okay, the safety, which is there, is up. It's safe. There is no red indicator or nothing. This is ambidextrous, so if you're left-handed, you can manipulate the safety. The only thing I don't like about it, usually there's a red dot or something with these. This isn't there. So remember that the safety will not go up unless the striker piece is cocked. Also, you just got a nice trigger on there. It isn't a standard like on just about every gun made now today, be it a rifle or pistol, a 2-piece trigger in there. That's not there. And that's something I like that better. trigger pull on this is not bad. The accuracy is fairly good. It's a very easy, comfortable gun to shoot. Okay. And then you have you can see it, 3-dot sights. And if you read the manual, you will see on the side of the sight here, the rear sight, there are 2 little micro screw heads in there. And I believe the rear one is for elevation and the forward one will adjust windage. And they show you in the manual clockwise, counterclockwise, how to move it one way or the other. So if you take this gun to the range, you sight it in, bring one of them little jeweler screwdrivers or go to Harbor Freight and get one of them little micro-sized screwdrivers to attach that. There is nothing in the box with this that will help you adjust the sight. So like I said, comfortable in the hand. And again, the big innovation with most of these guns, and it's been a few years, this is nothing new, these have 16-round magazines. So with most 22s, they were a single stack. This is a double stack style mag, okay? And the one accessory that comes with it is this mag loader. And you see it just goes over the mag and there's a little finger in there. So when you put it in there and you have a serrated end here, you place it on the table, push down, and then take your cartridge where the cutout is, put the rim in there, and start to push it in and lift that up and then load your cartridges. The fact they give you the loader means that getting down there and loading the mag probably this would be the way to go, because you can. There are 2 little round protrusions here. If you got long thumbnails, you can pull it down all the way down like this, get the follower down, try to drop them in. But I wouldn't recommend doing this, because with a staggered feed, if you try doing that with the 22s because of the rim, you'll get jams and you'll have problems. So use the loader, take your time, load it 1 round at a time, make sure they're in there good, and you shouldn't have any problems with jams like that. So again, you only got the 1 little manual safety, and it does not go up when you do not have the striker, any compression on the spring. So, don't try to force the safety up unless you can. Now, taking this gun apart is a little bit different also. I think some of the reasons that give this gun accuracy in that is the way it's constructed. And we'll take a look at it once I get it apart. A lot of people I've seen in other videos say, hey, make this a 9mm. Well, the GC 2 and 3 are kind of similar in design, are probably wider, but this is a 22. You couldn't make this in a 9mm, and the only thing that fits in the hand the same as this small gun is that Mossberg, I forget the name of it. I looked at one in the counter at the gun shop, and it's about the same profile as this, but it's got a 15-shot 9mm mag. So that was another gun that caught my eye, but that's for another time. All right, so how we take it apart. I get the mag out, and this one, it's a little bit different, the way the slide goes. It's just like a Glock. You have that little depression there. You'd pull down on that. You take a little pressure off the slide. You pull this down. Now bear in mind with me. And then slide forward, but as you see, it immediately comes upward. This does not slide off all the way like a center fire gun. And that is because another unusual thing about this is the barrel is mounted in a block inside the frame. And another thing about this frame, even though it's a polymer frame, this area right here where the barrel locks up in all this is a solid piece of aluminum, I guess. There's solid aluminum down into here It's all the way back here and even back in here. So it's like there's a solid aluminum chassis placed inside here. I'm not quite sure, but this is where the barrel locks. And when I get it apart, I'll go and just put the barrel back in there and show you how it locks in there. Most 22s of this type, or most 22 pistols, will have an alloy frame or something, and then the barrel is pinned and attached to the alloy frame, and then your recoil springs will be in there around the barrel, much like the Sig Mosquito. And it's one of them deals where you got to pull the slide up and let it go forward. This gun isn't constructed that way, and I believe this is how it gets its accuracy and stability, because that's the thing now with the polymer guns, is putting a solid chassis inside the polymer frame. And then you just have a captive recoil that, you know, locks in just like any other semi-automatic pistol. And then the barrel comes out like this. The barrel is a separate component, and you have aluminum or alloy slide, little steel block in a base there for where the bolt face is, or locks up with the barrel steel, so makes sense. Actually pretty neat. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to slide this barrel back in here and show you how this thing kind of locks in to place. Yep, there it goes. Pretty simple. Okay, now you see how your barrel locks into this solid area and comes up, and that's what feeds from your mag and that. And it's pretty neat. So that's how that locks in there, which I believe this is the key to the accuracy. It's, you know, pretty solid lockup. Where, like I said, a lot of them, it would be the frame and that would be one piece, and then the barrel would be pressed in and pinned on most of these 22s. Okay, so get that off again, and then we'll do a reassembly. Alright, to reassemble the gun, you put the barrel back inside. Make sure you got it the right side up. Little lugs in the bottom there. Slide that up. Then you just take your recoil spring and press that into there like that, and you're all set and ready. Now if you notice, there's these cutouts here, and here. What you're going to do is you take your frame and you try to line this up kind of to them cutouts. You gotta excuse my hand. And it's basically a matter of kind of depressing, once you line the cutouts up, you would depress this. Hold on a second. Okay, you got it lined up, and then you just kind of like push down on the slide and draw it back. A little tricky for me, but you do it a couple times and you got it. Well, that's about it, except for one more feature, and we'll go over. There is an adapter for the barrel, which, like I showed you in the original package, comes in. And what this does is this adapter will screw on the end of the barrel for, I think it's 1/2" 28 thread. And what's neat about that is the threaded end of the barrel is hidden inside here. Okay, so there's no protruding nut or cap or anything, which is pretty cool. Like if you get a 9mm or something with a threaded barrel, you always got to have a thread protector on there. This is a pretty neat feature. So what you would do is you're going to need, if you go into the manual, you're going to need a 3/8 open end wrench and a 9/16 open end wrench to do this. So, you know, you clear the gun, make sure it's empty. Okay, got it locked back. And you take the smaller 3/8, and there are little flats on there. And you just would go break that loose. And pull off the little protector. Okay, always keep a resealable plastic bag to put these parts in, because it came in this little seal thing, and once you break it open, it's totally worthless. All right, so now you have your adapter here, and there's a look at the barrel. It's threaded, and this is all pretty small, so you want to be careful with that. Make sure you don't cross thread it, and you would turn this in, and this is where you take your 9/16, and there are only 2 flats on this. Get it back, and just give it a little torque, and there you are. Your pistol's ready with a threaded end for whatever. Muzzle brakes. If you're lucky and live in a place or have a registered suppressor or silencer, now you can attach your silencer to the pistol. Okay? Actually a pretty neat package. And like I said, if you don't need this, you can take this off, put the thread protector back on, and it's invisible. Nothing protrudes from the front of the slide. That way nothing can get damaged, and that's pretty neat concept. I like it. So there you go. There's a little review of all the features and that, and hopefully we can get out to the range this coming week and give this a try and get some rounds downrange.